Hello everyone, I'm Adib, and it's like 1:18 in the night, and I just quickly wanted to create a video of me going through my coding agent tool Atlas, and I'm going to use it to build a couple of new features into Cersei, which is a coding agent framework that I have and I've been building for some time. Now, a lot of people do ask me like, how do I ship really fast? How do I plan before writing down the code or writing down the instructions for my coding agent? So the primary coding agent I use is Claude Code, and I have a subscription, Anthropic subscription, that allows me to use it. And I use Claude Code. I used Claude Code with Z Editor before, but I was jumping between multiple tools like Notion for documenting or Obsidian for documentation. I was using Z Editor as the primary editor, and I was also browsing the web using Safari or Chrome or something, and I was also using some other like source control tools like GitHub Desktop or something like that. And it's all good, but I've been having to jump around multiple tools, which was not really efficient for me, first of all, and second of all, I really wanted to have a tool where I could reference everything in my code base, right? And another problem that I think a lot of developers are facing is that they don't know exactly what sort of features that they're building. So what I mean by that is, okay, a lot of the features are being developed by coding agents, but we don't have proper documentation tool which allows us to be able to like keep track and have the team members in sync. So something that I'm working on, but it's not there. So I just want to quickly create a video around, okay, how do I personally use Atlas to be able to like develop some features. I use Atlas to build Atlas, and I'm also using this on Cersei, so I'm now using Atlas full time for every project that I'm building or working on, right? So here I have something called agent.rl, which is a feature that I have written down. It's like exactly what I want from Cersei. This is the file explorer, and I'm just going to create a new chat session. So I'm sorry for the noises outside, but I'm going to create a new chat session, so I can toggle chat sessions here. And before that, I'm going to have to do a quick pull. So okay, I have already merged a PR request, and I want to be able to pull that into my current workspace. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to do a git fetch, and as you can see that I have like two new reviews that are coming in, sorry, new PRs that I have merged. So I need to be able to pull all of this, and it's all done. Okay, I can see in the history, okay, this is the 27 minutes ago, this is the latest one, so I can actually safely work on this code base, right? So I don't have to jump into different tools or anything to manage my Git. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, so another really interesting fact about Atlas is that everything is navigatable with with the keyboard only. So what I have to do is I have to press Command, Option and Space to get into this hint mode that allows me to navigate into different parts of the Atlas, all with my keyboard. So what I can just say, okay, JS, I will go to in the history, I can see the stashes here, I can go back and just do FC and go back to change it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit FS, I'm going to say, I'm going to go into plan mode, and I'm going to say, I want you to read into, okay, I'm just going to move this, I want you to read into the latest node that I've created. It's basically a knowledge base, which is the agent.rl file. I wanted to read into agent.rl and create a plan to implement this. Right, so it's basically my prompt to Claude Code. Now, it's a very short prompt, but I've actually written it down beforehand, so it's very much detailed here. As you can see, this is the knowledge base, which is separate from the, I didn't really have to go ahead and create like a .md file in the root of the folder, root of the workspace. It's all being saved into .atlas files, sorry, .atlas folder. So that's really nice. So you can actually see the files that are inside of this thing. So you can create like multiple documentations, sort of like designed around Notion. So that's what it is. So I'm just going to quit that. I'm going to try to focus on my agent, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just press Command and Enter to execute Claude Code. Now I also have a built-in terminal for this, I can just go ahead and just see, okay, git status, and I have that. And also it pretty much comes with like auto completions, so it's pretty nice. So I can just type which, or bun dash v. It's just going to work. It's pretty nice. And also it has some basic like tools. You can retry it. Some basic stuff. So now the agent has started its work, and I can also do some analysis on the code base and explore like exactly what sort of files there are and what sort of structures that I have around the code base, and I can also do some analysis around the usage reports. Sorry, how do I minimize this? Yeah, I can also do an usage report. So I've spent around $1,700 on this project alone for tokens, so that's nice. And I can, it's basically like a complete tool. And really good thing about Atlas is that I also have an access to a browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press command and backslash, and I'm going to go to a browser, and I can just go to cloud.ai. So I'm already logged in, I think. Yes, so I'm already logged in, so I can actually use Cloud Code. Is Cloud Code here, and on the right side I can actually chat to Claude. So this gives me a really good immersive control over everything that I'm using. So it's really nice for me to use, and it also allows me to, well, first of all, document everything in my workspace. It allows me to execute all the coding agents in one workspace. I can also browse the web from one place. I can use the terminal from a single source. I can also git review everything from one single source, and I'm also working on some other stuff which is going to be pretty interesting. For example, I'm creating a graph that allows you to track back exactly what the coding agent has changed. So it allows teams and humans to be able to understand, okay, what exactly did Cloud Code change. So that's going to be a really powerful review tool, I think, which is going to be pretty nice. And also, this is my favorite one. Not really my favorite, but this is also something that I've really wanted from other tools, which is a Pomodoro timer, right? So I'm gonna have to extend it a bit and also shrink the browser, and I can just start a timer. But I'm not going to start a timer right now because, well, this is just me going around the surface of Atlas and how it's working and how do I use it to work. But yeah, this is I can just add any sort of tools that I want to. And I also have Spaces, which is basically like a fancy tool to add notes, sticky notes. And I also have a log, so this is basically all the Atlas tool calls, and it also logs like every event that's coming out of Atlas tool itself, and also like Cloud Code and also other tools. So it's built for debugging at this point. Also do have research, so this is a very personal take. You can just pull some research papers, so you can also visit those things. It's a very personal tool for me. And yeah, the terminal I've already shown you, log, the browser spaces, and everything is pretty basic. And also it's a very complete writing tool, by the way. Like you can actually use you can actually add blocks just like Notion. So I can do something like, hey, I want to add a to-do, and I can just add a to-do. And let's say I want to add something like a bullet list. I can add a bullet list. Well, that's not rendering, something that I'll fix probably. But yeah, it's a very complete tool, at least for me that is. And I'm going to shrink that, and I'm just going to, this is a big request that's going into Cloud Code, so it's going to take some time. But yeah, this is basically how I use my coding agent along with all these different tools. I think it's pretty cool, and the really good thing about this is I'm using Atlas to build Atlas, so that gives me full confidence and full control over my own agentic tools, right? That allows me to be able to build the exact tools that I need on demand, and I can also use multiple other tools that I can reference. So this is actually quite interesting. Yeah, this is something that I have wanted to show, but I actually forgot. Atlas has an incredible reference system, so you can pretty much reference anything that you want. You can reference files, you can reference folders, you can reference the cached symbols, you can also reference the knowledge base, so basically the notes that you save. You can also save, like, you can actually clone repos, so I'll only have this, so I'm actually going to show you how it works. I can just go ahead and do something like this. I can go to GitHub panel and I can say, okay, lib embedding, right? I want to clone this into my project. So what's going to happen is it's going to download, and now what I can do is, sorry, I'm going to have to go to that clone repo, and I can just specify lib embedding, and I can reference the code base directly into my coding agent, which is pretty cool. This is something that I've always wanted. So yeah, I'm just going to close it. But this is basically Atlas. It's a planning surface for coding agents. It's basically the context you give to your coding agent before even execution, and it's also, like I said, I'm building a couple of tools to allow or to build like to build execution graphs for humans and agents. It's basically a new Git for humans to be able to review the code that coding agents are writing and also track exactly what the coding agents are doing. So yeah, you can go to TryAtlas CC. This is where you can actually see the whole website. You can go ahead and just join the Discord. So I'm trying to put everything down there. You can start this because this is all open source, by the way. And you can, of course, check out Source, which is the Rust coding framework. This is something that I haven't integrated with Atlas, but this is something that's going to be a massive part of Atlas in the future. So yeah, it's all very early. All the builds that I'm shipping are now in alpha mode. So as you can see, alpha pretty much stands for like very, very early. So there are going to be bugs, there are going to be some issues, there are going to be missing features. So I want you guys, if you want to try it out, let me know any changes or let me know any issues that you are facing. Of course, everything's open source, so it's very easy for you guys to just go ahead and create an issue and also join the Discord. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys like the tool. Thank you. Bye-bye.